Welcome to the Astral Weather Report. I'm Jeremy Eugene Wilson with the Light Army, and every 6 days I come on here to share with you the cosmic astrological shifts, the weather that affects our behavior, right? So the way you think, the way you feel is not a disruption, it isn't a distraction, it doesn't create confusion, and instead you're able to leverage this energy to navigate your relationships and ultimately use this to your advantage, to benefit you, to help you achieve your highest outcomes. So the theme for this next 6 days, October 30th through the 5th, is really all about instinct meeting insight, right? It's about turning patterns into power in your life. So the mental and emotional forecast, what you might expect this next week is just a heightened field of awareness, just a little bit more intuitive pattern recognition, right? And this is a really powerful mix between gut instinct and mental replay. So as an entrepreneur, you might just spot some repeating market or client patterns, maybe with your team. As a parent, you might notice loops, unhealed trauma, or just patterns showing up in power struggle with your kids, with your family, right? A competition for authority. Just as a leader overall, you might experience deja vu in team dynamics. So the dark side of this thing is it can create overanalyzation, right? Just overthinking in general, and make you question your instincts. So if you really lean into this, what I'm about to share with you can allow you to just achieve more clarity, kill any internal ambiguity. And when you merge instinct with reflection, rather than let either one dominate, it can lead to a lot of powerful clarity, right? Certainty emotionally. So the sun has moved into the 44th signature. In human design, we call it gate 44. It's all about alertness and synchronicity. However, there's always a gap. There's a gap between being able to use alertness to fuel us, to help us avoid pain, to help us avoid discomfort and achieve harmony, versus allowing it to fill us with fear. And so that is the real gap. If you've ever read Outwitting the Devil, one of my all-time favorite books, written by Napoleon Hill in the 30s, suppressed and not published until 2011, the 7 principles of Outwitting the Devil, the 7th principle is caution. So when I think of gate 44, this 44 signature, I think of alertness and synchronicity. I think of how, obviously exercising caution can create paranoia, neuroticism, just distrust in general. And you can end up repeating old mistakes and attracting those patterns by focusing on them too much, right? It's just like, when you race car drive or you ski or snowboard, if you focus on the tree you want to miss, you're going to hit the tree. It's where you turn your head. Energy flows where attention goes. So caution is designed for us to avoid danger, but when we focus too hard on the things that are dangerous or fearful, we end up finding them a lot faster than what we intend. So the message from this is just to remember your instincts are a guide, and they are your default mechanism when your mind forgets or you're unaware. So it's all about trusting your instincts, right? Having some pattern recognition and mastery over that, recognizing the timing, right? Notice a danger, and then what can I do to avoid that? The person without fear enters the forest without a spear, and they get eaten. So allow it to be your guide to avoid things and walk a more harmonious path. The earth has moved into gate 24. This is known as the gate of rationalization. Some people call it invention. And once again, this can create mental looping, obsessive over-analyzing, which is not a gift. The gift and how to leverage this to your best is to, harvest insight in your reflection rather than ruminate and overthink. So, reflection can be sacred and guide you to higher, drier land. When it leads to resolution, resolve, a higher result, you're using that data to guide your next step. But if you ruminate, you get more to ruminate on. So, the combined lesson of these two energies is really just like instinct sees the pattern and reflection interprets it. And together they can create a powerful timing and an essence of mastery. It's kind of like Frogger. Step forward, step back. We can build an SOP even in difficult situations that can be fearful, and we can get to the other side of the river, so to speak. So the number one way to navigate this, what you really want to avoid is just re-entering cycles just because they're familiar, right? intellectualizing your intuition, overthinking, right? Sometimes a pattern shows up and it can create PTSD, where we believe that pattern is a direct indication of the trend we're heading toward. So you definitely don't want to enter a repeating cycle of overthought. You just want to use your memory as wisdom. What did I learn? How can I use this to my advantage next time? Most of success is remembering what not to do from the times you failed. And most winners just discover all the ways in which not to fail by making some mistakes and learning. So just really leverage that. What did I learn last time I experienced this pattern that I don't want to repeat, right? It's either repeat or remember. That's the benefit. Start each day, this next few days, just by like naming a recurring theme that you're ready to master. Some of the hardest things to change in your life are your spending habits, your eating habits, your sleeping habits, your sexual habits are habits. And habits hold what we call habit gravity, and you need enough escape velocity. So just by naming one theme you're ready to master or break through, a habit you're ready to build instead of allow it to continue to deplete you, just really start by naming, one per day. Write it down on a note card or something. Also, like if you get a little gut hit this week, note it before logic explains it away. I call it the feather, the brick, the truck. Sometimes instincts or intuitions show up in our gut or in our body, sometimes somewhere in our body, and we're going, I'm not really sure. Maybe that's insecurity. No, don't brush off the feather. We brush off the feather, we get hit by the brick, and they're like, well, I kind of saw this coming. It's kind of my fault. And then you get ran over by the truck, and you're like, I knew this was going to happen all along. So just don't explain it away or shrug it off, and just end each day, this next few days, with like a 2 to 3 minute reflection, and just what repeated today that wants resolution. Like what is it what patterns are showing up you want to overcome? As an entrepreneur, just remember your instincts are a data stream. We make decisions emotionally, we justify them logic, and as an entrepreneur, it can be easy to just start focusing on the data, but trust those instincts as much as spreadsheets. We live in a world where AI has us outsourcing our truth, data, knowledge, decision-making, creativity. Allow yourself to reconnect to those core instincts that will be the greatest guide beyond the data for the rest of your life, and especially as we increase more dependency on AI and continue to see that the synthetic world is becoming just as indistinguishable as our authentic reality. So just as a leader or a parent in general, the past is it's a pattern. It's not a prison. So when we learn from those patterns, we can create a new result. And if it's in your relationships, ask the question. Say, hey, here's a problem that showed up. It's become a little bit of a pattern. I want to prevent this pattern from showing up in our future, and ask this powerful question. What can we do together to resolve this pattern, create a different result, come closer together, deepen our trust and respect? What can we do together? That's your magic wand for this next few days. And then just the other question to kind of be with, a couple questions like what pattern in my thoughts or emotions is ready to end, right? What's a pattern? What is a disempowering thought my inner critic has said over and over I'm ready to release and let go of, and how can I turn my intuition, my instincts, my intuitive recognition into wise timing? How can I use that to my benefit and advantage? We launched the breakthrough code yesterday. We had a sizable group show up. I'm going to be hosting these frequently, so if you want to know more about how you can access that for free, it's going to be free to the first 100 people that join. Reach out to me on Instagram. Otherwise, I'll see you back here in 6 days for another Astral Weather Report. In the meantime, remember what you are. You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are the soul that inhabits you. You are the light, infinite love. Shine on. Bye for now.